Mr. T here, just doing another quick video. This is to give you an example of what you could do for an interactive presentation, in particular for the 10 Science Earth Systems task, but this could apply to anything. So I've got a title page here. You're trying to make it interactive, so we could consider this to be home. We'll put our navigation around and set that up for all the slides that we make. And I'm going to consider this first slide home. Now, the way that you should look into it is really stop thinking about the presentation just being slide to slide. You can press buttons and go to different places now. So for example, I've got a picture of the carbon cycle here. I can make this picture interactive. I can make buttons for all of the different sections, okay? So for example, if I wanted to make a button for explaining or going to CO2 in the atmosphere, CO2 in the atmosphere, obviously that's too big, but there. Now I can do something with this. So I can make a slide that is about CO2 in the atmosphere. I can put all my information here. Now I'm looking at it, I'm probably going to need my navigation buttons on the bottom. I like that better. So move that down so I don't go over the headings. So what I could do here is make a link, slide 3 is the one with info about carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Go to slide, so that's set up already. And then what I could do is set these up. That goes to first slide, which is home. This always goes to the next slide, so add link, slide, next slide. It's already set up, that's the default. Add link, slide, previous slide, and because those are already set up, I can just Control-C, Control-V them to all of the different slides. That's covering up one of my potential buttons, so I'm going to move everything up. Okay, and then copy and paste it again here. This is going to be filled with information that I want to present about CO2 in the atmosphere. So then you can see I've got a number of things that I could put buttons for. Email. Fossil fuel, I'll only do one more example. Fossil fuel combustion. And then I'll link that to a slide that's about fossil fuel combustion. I'll copy and paste the buttons that I've already set up and link this to slide 4. So let's see if this is working. Play, home goes home, back, I've got nowhere to go, but next goes to the next. Home goes back home, go to the carbon cycle. CO2 in the atmosphere, let's click that. CO2 in the atmosphere, I can go back or home. Now that I'm looking at this presentation, some of these buttons don't make sense because it is set up that this is the center. So if I click here, going back, it doesn't make sense that it goes back to CO2 in the atmosphere. So really it should just go back home or to the diagram. That would be more sensible. Okay, so I can go back to the beginning or to this slide from all of the content slides. That would probably make more sense. So that's just showing some thought process behind what I'm doing. So back to, I'll do that button to go back to the cycle. And next doesn't mean anything for these slides because I just want to be able to go home or back to the cycle. So I'm going to delete the next buttons from here because there's no order to CO2 or fossil fuel combustion. There's no order to that. So I need to fix this cycle, edit link. That's going to go back to slide 2 instead. And this is also going to go back to slide 2. So I think all of my content slides would actually make more sense that you can either go back home or to the diagram thing, which is like the center of everything. See cycle? Back here. CO2 in the atmosphere. I can go home. Next. Fossil fuel combustion. I can go home or go back to the cycle. So this is showing you how you could do a slightly more interactive PowerPoint, which uses some of your thinking skills to decide how to make it interactive, but also you can present your knowledge of this content through this presentation as well. So hopefully that helps you out, and see you in the next video.